Vegas. Glad to be with you. BangTheBook.com, Week 16 of the NFL. The home stretch and a lot on the line. And blanket coverage for the wild card races in the AFC and the NFC. Let's dive into it and let's see where we think the numbers are going to go. Let's go with Washington and Tennessee. You're looking at a 10-point favorite here in the Titans. Total on the game is 37. Listen, Tennessee and Indianapolis cut from the same cloth. Both teams are running the ball now. Both teams have really good defenses. Washington could be hard-pressed to produce some points in this spot. Clearly motivation on Tennessee's side. I think you could see 10.5 in this game. Baltimore and the Chargers, very interesting game. 4.5 is the number. It's a dead zone. I think you could see some fluctuation with this number. The total on the game is 44.5. We talked about this on the sports betting podcast with Adam Burke. Listen, Baltimore, obviously, they need the game. But listen, the Chargers are sitting here going, we got to put pressure on Kansas City with an opportunity to win home field advantage in the AFC. The drop-off is significant for the Chargers. They would go from the 1 seed conceivably all the way down to the 5 seed. So the Chargers have a lot to play for. If Gordon comes back, they become a really lethal football team. Tampa Bay and Dallas. Dallas is a 7-point favorite. Total's 46.5. Don't stub your toe here if you're Dallas, because don't look now. Here come the Eagles. It's all about motivation for Tampa Bay in this spot. Buffalo and New England. 10.5 we were looking at as a beginning number. 12.5. 13's the number. The total in the game is 45. First game was 25-6 in Buffalo. If Josh Allen would have played in that game, Buffalo would have beat him because the Bills shut down Tom Brady. And now they're going to have to take a look at Josh Allen for the first time. I'm not saying Josh Allen's a world beater, but what he can do with his feet makes it an intriguing dynamic for the Bills, and their defense shut down Tom Brady in that first game. It was a 12-6 game before there was a touchdown and a pick six at the end of the game. The Bills could really make things difficult for the Patriots, who just don't look like the Patriots of old. Atlanta and Carolina, 2.5, 3-point favorite here for Carolina. Came up short against the Saints. You wonder what their motivation will be. Atlanta's going to come in here, sling it all over the field. They got nothing to lose. Total's 47.5. Could see some points, but boy, Cam Newton's arm, he was just inaccurate all over the place in that last game. Jacksonville and Miami. Miami's a 4.5-point favorite. Total's 39.5. Jags defense is pretty tough. I think the Dolphins kind of know their seats, their fate is sealed, but this would be their last gasp to try to get to Week 17 with the game to mean something. Giants in Indianapolis. Indy's a 9.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 46.5. Eli Manning at times is atrocious. Beckham not in. Doesn't help the cause. Teams put 8 in the box and try to shut down Barkley, and this kid's just been mismanaged with horrific play calling in New York. Houston and Philadelphia, huge game here. And we're seeing Philly a 1.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 45. Like the under in this game. You got Philly with 2 high-scoring games. Dallas indoors. Nice weather against the Rams last week. Weather could be an issue. But Houston, if Philly can take away Hopkins or at least limit him, I think there could be a lot of field goals in this game. Minnesota and Detroit. Minnesota's a 5.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 43.5. At least the Lions' defense is playing. But, man, Stafford has just been a shell of himself in Minnesota. All the motivation in this spot. Green Bay and the Jets are 1. Is the premise here. The Green Bay's really run for the bus. Total on the game is 43.5. Rams in Arizona. 14-point favorite for the Rams. I'll tell you what. The Rams are going to want to put up points in this game because they got to get Goff figured out. He has struggled. The defense has been no great shakes either. The Rams need to find some momentum as New Orleans has run away and hid from them. Then Chicago, San Francisco. Say this, the Bears 4-point favorites on the road. They've clinched the division. The Niners are playing hard. San Francisco could be interesting here. Then Pittsburgh and New Orleans. New Orleans 5.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 53.5. The game means a lot to Pittsburgh. And listen, New Orleans want to get their offense going too. They've been kind of held in check in recent weeks. This could be one of those bizarre breakout games for both teams. I think you might see points. You get to the total 56 was put up. It's down to 53.5 based on what we've seen the last couple of weeks. KC and Seattle, 2.5-point favorite. Seattle is just starting to limp home here, but it's a tough place to play. And watch what happens with the Chargers on Saturday. Do they put pressure on the Chiefs? Could have an impact on this one. And wrap it up with Denver and Oakland. Two teams going nowhere and nowhere fast. Denver's a 2.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 44.5. It's the home stretch. One game could reach out to the other. There are going to be tentacles, a lot of scoreboard watching going on, and you could see some fluctuation on the numbers as we're in the home stretch of the NFL season. Listen to the Sports Betting Podcast with Adam Burke. Follow me on Twitter at Brian Blessing. As always, we're glad you're with us here at BangTheBook.com.